Your intuition isn't lying to you, and they love you more than you can ever imagine. I want you to just stay with those two things for a moment because I feel like both of them carry something important. The first part, your intuition isn't lying. I feel like that is speaking to something so many of you have been silently battling inside. That quiet inner voice that keeps telling you, this is real, this person feels something, this connection means something. And then the other part of you, maybe the more cautious part, keeps coming in and saying, but what if you are wrong? What if you are reading into it? I feel like this reading is here today to settle that battle because the cards are not going to be gentle about this. They're going to be clear. Your intuition has been picking up on something real, something that this person carries for you that they haven't fully put into words yet. And the second part of this message, that they love you more than you can ever imagine, I feel like that is the part that is going to land deeply today. Because I feel like many of you have sensed the love. You felt it in the way this person looks at you, or reaches for you, or comes back to you. But you've maybe underestimated the depth of it. You've maybe capped it at a certain level in your mind, because it felt too big to fully believe. And the cards today are saying, remove that cap. The depth of what this person feels for you goes further than you've allowed yourself to receive. So let's get into it because the energy here is already very rich and very layered. The first card that comes out for this connection is the moon. And wow, I feel like the moon here is so perfect for this message. It is almost like the cards chose it intentionally. The moon is the card of intuition, of what exists beneath the surface, of the things that are felt but not yet fully seen. I feel like the moon here is the universe saying directly to you what you've been sensing in the quiet moments, in the still moments, is real. It is not your imagination. It is not projection. It is not wishful thinking. It is your intuition responding to something that genuinely exists. The moon also speaks to hidden depth, and I feel like that is exactly what is present in this person's feelings for you. There is a depth to what they feel that hasn't surfaced yet, that hasn't been fully articulated, but it is there and it is vast. Now the next card that comes through is the Six of Cups. I feel like the Six of Cups here is bringing in this energy of soul level familiarity of two people who recognize each other in a way that goes deep. It is that feeling of, I don't just know you, I've always known you, and I feel like this person experiences that every single time they're near you. There is a softness in the Six of Cups that I feel like speaks to the purity of what they feel. It is not complicated in its core. It is just real. I feel like this card is also saying what they feel for you has roots. It didn't just arrive, it grew, it deepened, it became something steady. Now underneath all of this, I am also seeing the Nine of Cups come through. And the Nine of Cups, I feel like this is significant because the Nine of Cups is about emotional fulfillment, about a wish that is answered. I feel like this card here is saying you are this person's answered wish. You are what they've wanted without maybe knowing exactly how to name it. There is a satisfaction in their energy when they think of you, a sense of, this is what I've been looking for, this is what I needed. I feel like the Nine of Cups is also pointing toward fulfillment coming into your life through this connection, something deeply satisfying on its way. I feel like the combination of the moon, the Six of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is painting a very specific picture here. It is saying this isn't a surface connection. This isn't something light or passing. This is something that runs all the way through. I feel like for a lot of you, you've been afraid to fully claim this, afraid to say out loud, yes, this person loves me. Yes, this is real. And I feel like part of what today's reading is doing is giving you permission to claim it because the cards are claiming it for you. The love is there, the depth is there, and your intuition, that quiet, steady voice inside you, has known it all along. I feel like this reading is going to be one that stays with you because it is not giving you hope, it is giving you confirmation. Right now, the opening of this reading is telling us your intuition is right, the depth is real, and this love is bigger than you've allowed yourself to believe. Now let's move forward and see what is coming through. Now, let's see what is coming through. Now we're looking at your side specifically, and I feel like your energy in this reading has a very particular quality to it. There is a stillness here, but it is not a peaceful stillness. It is the kind of stillness that comes from being caught between two things. Between what you feel and what you are allowing yourself to believe, between your intuition and your logic. And right now, those two things are at war. I feel like the card that is coming through for you here is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords, I feel like it captures your energy so precisely right now because it is a card of being at a standstill. It is that image of someone sitting very still, arms crossed, blindfolded, not because they can't see, but because they're choosing not to look yet. Because looking means deciding, and deciding means accepting something that feels almost too significant to fully let yourself accept. I feel like you have been sitting in that position with this person not because you don't know how you feel, but because you are afraid of what happens if you are right. What if you are right about the depth of this? What if it really is as real as it feels? And what happens then? What do you do with that? I feel like there is a very specific kind of anxiety that lives in loving someone this deeply. And it is not fear of them, it is fear of the love itself. Because the love you feel for this person, I feel like it doesn't have a ceiling, and something without a ceiling feels very exposing to carry. Now, I am also seeing the Strength card come through for you, and I feel like this is so revealing about who you are in this situation. The Strength card isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, it is quiet, and it is sustained. And I feel like that is exactly how you've been loving this person. You've been loving them with a kind of quiet ferocity that most people around you probably can't even see because you hold it so privately. It doesn't pour out of you in big gestures or loud declarations. It lives in you like a constant hum, steady and unwavering and very, very deep. I feel like the Strength card is also speaking to how long you've been carrying this without fully releasing it anywhere. There is an endurance in your energy that I feel like has cost you something, not in a negative way, but in the way that real love costs you something. It demands something from you, it asks something of you, and you have been giving it freely even when it wasn't being matched on the surface. Now, I am also seeing the Seven of Pentacles come through for your side. I feel like the Seven of Pentacles here is showing me that you have been in a season of watching and waiting, investing quietly, and then stepping back to see, investing your energy, your attention, your emotional presence into this connection, and then pulling back to assess, to read the signals, to interpret every little thing. I feel like you've become almost fluent in this person's small gestures. The way they reach out, the way they pull back, the pauses, the returns, and each one of those signals, I feel like you've been filing away, building a case in your mind, trying to decide if what you feel is confirmed or not. But here is what the Seven of Pentacles is also saying: the harvest is closer than you think. What you've been tending to is almost ready. I feel like the investment you've made in this connection, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, is not going unaccounted for. The cards are saying you have put real and genuine love into this, and something is preparing to give that back to you in full. I feel like there is also something in your energy that I want to name because I feel like it is very specific to you in this situation. You are someone who has a very high emotional intelligence, and sometimes that works against you because you overthink what you already know. You already know what you feel, you already know what you sense, but you keep running it through your mind, looking for the flaw, the catch, the reason to doubt. And I feel like the cards are saying, stop looking for the reason to doubt because the reason to believe has been in front of you all along. Your intuition is not your enemy here. It is your most accurate guide, and it has been pointing at the truth this whole time. I feel like one of the most specific things about your energy right now is that you've been keeping this feeling very close, very private. I feel like your energy right now is someone who is right on the edge of something, right on the edge of the confirmation they've been waiting for. And the cards are saying, stay on that edge just a little longer, because what is coming is going to make the waiting feel like it had a purpose. Now let's go deeper and see what is underneath this. Now let's move into the next layer. Now we're stepping fully into their world. And I feel like what is on their side is going to explain so much for you. Because I feel like this person is someone who contains multitudes, and none of it is simple, and all of it is pointed directly at you. The first card that comes out for them is the King of Cups. And the King of Cups. I feel like this is so telling because this is someone who has an enormous emotional interior that they rarely let anyone see. This person feels things at a depth that most people around them don't even realize because they've mastered the art of appearing composed. On the outside, they can seem measured, even detached sometimes, like they're not particularly moved by things. But on the inside, I feel like this person is a sea. And when it comes to you specifically, that sea is not calm, it is full. The King of Cups is telling me that this person has a very sophisticated emotional relationship with what they feel for you. It is not a simple crush. It is not surface level. It is something they've sat with, turned over, examined from every angle, and still can't dismiss. I feel like their motive for holding back so much isn't coldness. It is actually the opposite. It is the intensity of what they feel. When something means this much to them, they become very careful with it, very deliberate, almost protective of it. I feel like they've been treating what they feel for you the way someone treats something fragile and rare, carefully, quietly, with a lot of intention. Now, the next card that comes through for them is the Wheel of Fortune. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune on their side is extraordinarily significant because this card speaks to destiny, to cycles, to what keeps returning. I feel like this person has had a recurring experience of thinking about you, returning to you, being pulled back toward you, no matter what else is happening. It is like you are a fixed point in their inner world, and the wheel keeps spinning them back around to face you again and again. I feel like they've noticed this about themselves. They've noticed that you don't leave their mind the way other people do. And that realization, I feel like, has both moved them and unsettled them because it points at something they can't control. This person likes to feel in control of their emotional world, and what they feel for you sits outside of that control completely. The Wheel of Fortune is also saying there is a faded quality to this connection that this person feels on some level. A sense that this didn't happen by accident, that you didn't come into their life randomly, that there is something behind it. I feel like that sense of destiny is one of their motives for not walking away, even in moments when walking away would have been easier. Now, I am also seeing the Five of Cups come through on their side, and I want to speak to this carefully. I feel like the Five of Cups here is showing me a specific fear that lives in this person underneath everything else. It is the fear of loss, and more specifically, the fear of losing you, of doing this wrong, of getting to the end and realizing they waited too long. I feel like they've had moments of imagining what it would feel like to lose access to you, and those moments have genuinely shaken them. Because the Five of Cups shows someone staring at what was lost, and I feel like this person has used that image as a quiet warning to themselves. Don't lose this. Don't let this slip away. Don't be so careful that you become careless in a different direction. I feel like there is also a habit this person has, and it is one that I think you've probably noticed without fully naming it. They have a habit of showing up in indirect ways, of being present through the side door rather than the front door. Like a comment, a random check-in that seems casual but isn't a reaching out that is disguised as something small and ordinary. I feel like that habit is their way of staying connected to you without having to fully declare themselves. It is closeness with a layer of safety over it. But I feel like that habit is starting to feel insufficient to them, like the side door isn't satisfying anymore when what they want is to walk through the front. I feel like their trigger, the thing that has been slowly pushing them towards stepping forward, is that fear of future regret, the growing awareness that staying silent is not actually the safe option, that silence has its own risk attached to it. I feel like they've started to feel the weight of what it would mean to never say this, to never let you know, to hold it forever and wonder. And that weight, I feel like it is becoming heavier than the vulnerability of speaking, which is exactly where the cards say they are right now. Let's keep going and see what is here for you. Okay, let's see what the cards are saying. Now, this is the part where the energy really starts to shift because this is about what they are actually about to do, not what they've been feeling internally, not what has been sitting beneath the surface, but what is getting ready to move outward. And I feel like the first card that comes out in this position is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands, I feel like this is one of the most direct and exciting cards to see here because this card is about swift movement. It is about things that have been hovering in the air suddenly releasing, suddenly finding direction and speed and landing somewhere real. I feel like the Eight of Wands is saying the energy that has been building between you and this person is about to find its outlet. Something is coming towards you from them, and I feel like it is coming faster than you might expect because this card doesn't move slowly. It could be a message, it could be a conversation they initiate, it could be them showing up in your space in a way that feels deliberate. But whatever form it takes, I feel like the Eight of Wands is saying it is already in motion, it has already been released, it is on its way. Now, underneath this, I am seeing the Chariot come through, and I feel like the Chariot here is so powerful in this position. The Chariot is a card of decisive movement, of someone who has made up their mind and is now steering with both hands, not drifting, not wavering. I feel like this person has reached a decision point inside themselves, and the Chariot is confirming they've chosen to move forward, not cautiously, not halfway, but with the kind of intention that the Chariot carries, which is focused and it is clear and it does not turn back. I feel like what changes when this person takes this step is the entire texture of this connection. It shifts completely. Because right now there is a kind of suspension between you, a not quite there feeling, and the Chariot breaking through ends that suspension. What has felt unresolved starts to resolve. What has felt unnamed starts to get named. And what has felt uncertain starts to feel very solid. I feel like for a lot of you, the movement that is coming from this person is going to feel like a relief at a cellular level. Like something in your body has been braced for so long, and it finally gets to relax, finally gets to soften, finally gets to trust. Now, I am also seeing the Four of Wands come through, and I feel like this card is beautiful here. The Four of Wands is a card of coming home, of celebration, of something being built that is stable enough to stand on. I feel like this card is showing me what happens after they take their step, after they move forward and close the distance between you. There is a warmth coming. I feel like a genuinely celebratory energy, the kind that comes when something finally arrives after a long wait. I feel like the Four of Wands here is also hinting at a new kind of stability between you, a foundation being laid for something real. Not just an emotional opening, but the beginning of something that has structure, something that both of you can build on together. What changes, I feel like, is that you stop being two people orbiting each other and start being two people actually in the same space. Emotionally in the same space, energetically in the same space, finally on the same page and moving in the same direction. I feel like the cards are also saying that when this person moves, they are going to move with enough clarity that there is no ambiguity left. There will be no more reading between lines, no more interpreting small signals, because what they bring is going to be clear and it is going to be real. I feel like there is something else worth naming about how they're going to do this because the how matters as much as the what. I feel like this person is going to come to you in a way that shows they've thought about it, that it didn't just slip out of them casually. There is going to be a deliberateness to it, a weight to it, that lets you know this is not impulsive, this is chosen. And I feel like that deliberateness is what is going to make it land so completely, because you'll feel the intention behind every word. I feel like you are also going to notice a difference in their energy when they do this, a kind of openness you haven't seen from them before. Like a version of them that you've sensed was always there but couldn't quite reach, and suddenly it is right in front of you, fully present. I feel like the shift that comes from their action is also going to ripple into areas of your life beyond this connection. I feel like that clarity after everything you've been through with this connection is going to feel like something you didn't even know you needed until it arrives. Let's keep moving and see what else is here. Now let's go ahead and dive in. Now we're in the part of this reading that I feel like is the most intimate because this is about what they carry in private. The things they've never said, the confessions that live beneath every interaction you've had, the emotional truth they haven't found words for yet. And I feel like what is coming through here is going to validate so much of what your intuition has already been telling you. The first card that comes out in this confession layer is the Empress. And the Empress, I feel like this is extraordinary here because the Empress is a card of overflowing, abundant, deeply nurturing love. This isn't a card of mild affection. This isn't a card of or interest. This is a card that speaks to a love that is full and generous and vast. I feel like the Empress here is showing me the actual volume of what this person feels for you, and it is more than you have allowed yourself to believe. There is a richness to their love that I feel like they don't know how to contain, and so they end up expressing only small edges of it, what you've received from them so far. The small gestures, the quiet reaching out, I feel like that has been the very tip of something enormous. The Empress is saying the actual depth underneath is so much wider, so much warmer, so much more all-encompassing than what is made it to the surface. Now, one of their hidden confessions, I feel like, is that they think about a future with you in ways that are very specific. Not vague daydreams, but detailed ones, real ones, the kind that feel less like fantasy and more like plans they've been afraid to speak out loud. I feel like they've imagined what it would look like to actually be with you, fully, without the distance and the silence between you. And those imaginings, I feel like they don't feel foreign to this person. They feel natural. They feel right. They feel like something that is supposed to happen. Now, I am also seeing judgment come through in this position. And I feel like this card is deeply revealing. Judgment is a card of awakening, of a calling, of something that rises up from inside you and cannot be ignored any longer. I feel like this person has had a judgment moment with you, a moment where something in them woke up and said, "This is the one, this is it." And since that moment, I feel like everything has felt different for them, like a before and after, like something that changed the whole landscape. The confession here is that you are not just someone they like, you are someone who has fundamentally altered something inside them. I feel like they would say, if they were being fully honest, that they don't remember what it felt like to not feel this way about you. Now, when it comes to their physical feelings, I feel like the cards are bringing through something very real and very specific. This person is deeply physically drawn to you, not in a surface way, but in a way that feels almost involuntary to them. I feel like they notice things about you that they've never said, the way you laugh, the way you move, the particular quality of your presence. There is a comfort in being near you that I feel like they've become quietly dependent on without fully admitting it to themselves. And I feel like there is a physical longing in them that goes beyond attraction. It is the desire to be close in a way that feels permanent, to not have to leave, to not have to pull back, to just be in your space fully and without any reason to retreat from it. Now, the emotional truth the cards are showing me, I feel like, is this: you live in this person's thoughts more than anyone else ever has. They wake up thinking about you, they move through their day and you filter into it constantly. They fall asleep and you are still there. And the thing they've never said, I feel like, is that it stopped feeling like a crush a long time ago and started feeling like something they can't name. Something that doesn't fit neatly into a word but feels enormous and permanent and like it belongs to them in a very specific way. I feel like they've wanted to say, I don't just want you, I need you in my life in a way I can't fully justify or explain. And that need, I feel like, is exactly what the title of this reading is pointing at. They love you more than you can ever imagine. I feel like another confession that the cards are surfacing here is that this person has felt jealous without ever saying so. When your attention or energy has gone elsewhere, something in them responds with a quiet protectiveness they don't know what to do with. And I feel like that involuntary reaction has confirmed things to them about how deep this goes far more than any thought ever could. I feel like they've carried a quiet wonder about you, a curiosity about who you are that never fully gets satisfied. Now, let's go ahead and continue. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Now we're in the final stretch of this reading, and I feel like everything that has come through so far has been building toward this, the near future, the outcome, the advice, and I feel like the cards have saved some of their most beautiful energy for this last layer. The first card that comes out for your near future is the Star card. And I feel like the star here is the universe exhaling. It is the universe saying, it is okay. You can breathe now. Things are shifting. The star is not a dramatic card. It is a quiet card, but its message is one of the most comforting that can come through in a reading. It says, the difficult part is passing, the confusion is lifting, and something gentle and healing is making its way into your life. I feel like in your very near future, there is a settling happening, a quieting of the inner noise that has been surrounding this connection. The questions that have kept you up, the wondering and the second guessing, I feel like those start to find their answers very soon. And the answers, the star is saying, are going to feel like relief. They are going to feel like warmth. They are going to feel like finally. I feel like the star is also speaking directly to your intuition, validating it one final time in this reading. It is saying that inner knowing you've been carrying, that quiet certainty that kept coming back, no matter how much you tried to talk yourself out of it, it was right. It has always been right, and very soon you are going to have the external confirmation to match what you've known on the inside all along. Now for the outcome, I feel like the card that comes through is the Ten of Cups. And wow, the Ten of Cups, I feel like this is one of the most hopeful outcome cards you could receive in a love reading. The Ten of Cups is a card of complete emotional fulfillment, of a love that isn't just real but is joyful and abundant and reciprocated in full. I feel like the outcome of this connection, when it unfolds, is not a partial thing. It is not a halfway thing. It is the full version of what you've been hoping for. A love that is open, that is mutual, that is expressed, that doesn't make you wonder or decode or wait in silence anymore. I feel like the Ten of Cups here is also speaking to something lasting, not a flash of connection, but something that becomes a genuine anchor in your life. The kind of love that makes your everyday life feel different, feel warmer, feel like it has a new and beautiful kind of meaning behind it. Now for the advice portion, I feel like the Three of Wands is coming through. And the Three of Wands is such an interesting advice card because it shows someone standing on high ground, looking out at a vast horizon, watching their ships come in. I feel like this card is saying to you, your ships are coming. What you sent out is on its way back. Don't abandon the shore now. Don't turn away from this connection out of exhaustion or fear, right? At the moment when things are about to arrive, stay present, stay open. I feel like the Three of Wands is also saying expand your vision of what this could be, because the horizon in front of you is wider than you've been letting yourself see. You've been keeping your expectations small as a form of self-protection, and the cards are saying you can let them grow now. It is safe. I feel like the practical advice here is simple: receive. When this person steps forward, let it land. Don't deflect it. Don't question it to death. Just receive it. Because you have been the one giving so much in this, and what is coming now is for you to receive, and you deserve to let yourself do exactly that. I feel like when the cards align this consistently across every layer, the way they have today, that is not something to take lightly. Every position told the same story from a different angle, and I feel like that unanimity is the cards being as clear as they possibly can be. I feel like you are going to leave this reading with something settled in you, something that was restless, finally finding a place to rest. Now, as I close out this reading, I feel like I just want to come back to the message one more time. Your intuition isn't lying to you. That is not a small thing. That is the card saying you have been wired correctly for this connection all along, and they love you more than you can ever imagine. I feel like that is not poetry. That is what the cards have shown us in every single layer today. From the very first card to this last one, the story has been consistent, the love is real, it is vast, and it is yours. So yeah, trust what you feel, take care of yourself while you wait for what is already moving toward you, and know that your intuition has never steered you wrong here. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. I feel like everything that has come through so far has been building toward this, the near future, the outcome, the advice, and I feel like the cards have saved some of their most beautiful energy for this last layer. The first card that comes out for your near future is the Star card. And I feel like the star here is the universe exhaling. It is the universe saying, it is okay. You can breathe now. Things are shifting. The star is not a dramatic card. It is a quiet card, but its message is one of the most comforting that can come through in a reading. It says, the difficult part is passing, the confusion is lifting, and something gentle and healing is making its way into your life. I feel like in your very near future, there is a settling happening, a quieting of the inner noise that has been surrounding this connection. The questions that have kept you up, the wondering and the second guessing, I feel like those start to find their answers very soon. And the answers, the star is saying, are going to feel like relief. They are going to feel like warmth. They are going to feel like finally. I feel like the star is also speaking directly to your intuition, validating it one final time in this reading. It is saying that inner knowing you've been carrying, that quiet certainty that kept coming back, no matter how much you tried to talk yourself out of it, it was right. It has always been right, and very soon you are going to have the external confirmation to match what you've known on the inside all along. Now for the outcome, I feel like the card that comes through is the Ten of Cups. And wow, the Ten of Cups, I feel like this is one of the most hopeful outcome cards you could receive in a love reading. The Ten of Cups is a card of complete emotional fulfillment, of a love that isn't just real but is joyful and abundant and reciprocated in full. I feel like the outcome of this connection, when it unfolds, is not a partial thing. It is not a halfway thing. It is the full version of what you've been hoping for. A love that is open, that is mutual, that is expressed, that doesn't make you wonder or decode or wait in silence anymore. I feel like the Ten of Cups here is also speaking to something lasting, not a flash of connection, but something that becomes a genuine anchor in your life. The kind of love that makes your everyday life feel different, feel warmer, feel like it has a new and beautiful kind of meaning behind it. Now for the advice portion, I feel like the Three of Wands is coming through. And the Three of Wands is such an interesting advice card because it shows someone standing on high ground, looking out at a vast horizon, watching their ships come in. I feel like this card is saying to you, your ships are coming. What you sent out is on its way back. Don't abandon the shore now. Don't turn away from this connection out of exhaustion or fear, right? At the moment when things are about to arrive, stay present, stay open. I feel like the Three of Wands is also saying expand your vision of what this could be, because the horizon in front of you is wider than you've been letting yourself see. You've been keeping your expectations small as a form of self-protection, and the cards are saying you can let them grow now. It is safe. I feel like the practical advice here is simple: receive. When this person steps forward, let it land. Don't deflect it. Don't question it to death. Just receive it. Because you have been the one giving so much in this, and what is coming now is for you to receive, and you deserve to let yourself do exactly that. I feel like when the cards align this